Hello everybody. If you want to read all the stories in full, please go to www.steveuk.blog. Thank you. Short story 432, The Whispering Shadows. Upper Beginner. Emily stands in front of her new home. It is a small cottage in a quiet village. The village is surrounded by a dark, mysterious forest. Emily moved here to escape her painful memories. Her sister, Anna, died 6 months ago. The doctors said it was an accident, but Emily feels there is more to it. At night, Emily lies in bed. She hears strange whispers. They seem to come from the forest. The whispers say, "Emily, Anna." She shivers and pulls the blanket over her head. The next morning, Emily walks to the village square. She sees an old woman sitting on the bench. "Hello," Emily says. "I am new here. My name is Emily." The old woman looks at her with wise eyes. "Welcome, Emily. I am Mrs. Thompson. Be careful in this village. Do not go into the forest at night." "Why?" Emily asks. Mrs. Thompson shakes her head. "It is not safe. There are things in the forest." Emily feels a chill. She decides to explore the village instead. She meets the baker, the postman, and the doctor. The doctor is a tall man with a friendly smile. "Hello, Emily. I am Dr. Harris. If you need anything, just ask." "Thank you," Emily says. That night, the whispers are louder. Emily cannot ignore them. She puts on her coat and grabs a flashlight. She steps outside and walks towards the forest. The trees are tall and their branches look like skeletal fingers. The wind howls and leaves rustle under her feet. Suddenly, she sees a faint light. She follows it and sees a ghostly figure. It is a young woman in a white dress. The ghost whispers, "Help us, Emily." Emily's heart races. She turns and runs back to her cottage. She locks the door and hides under the covers. The next day, Emily goes to the village library. It is a small building with dusty books. She finds a book about the village's history. She reads about several young women who died in the forest over the past 20 years. Their deaths were all ruled as accidents or suicides, but there are rumors of foul play. Emily thinks about her sister. Anna came to this village for a vacation and never returned. Her body was found in the forest, just like the others. Emily decides to find out more. She talks to the villagers, but they avoid her questions. They seem scared. One evening, as Emily walks home, she sees the ghost again. This time the ghost beckons her to follow. Emily hesitates, but then decides to go. The ghost leads her deep into the forest to a clearing with old unmarked graves. The ghost points to the graves and says, "We were murdered. Find the killer." Emily asks, "Who is it?" The ghost whispers, "The one who heals." Emily thinks, "The one who heals? The doctor?" She remembers Dr. Harris. He is always so kind and helpful. Could he be the killer? Emily needs proof. She goes to Dr. Harris's clinic the next day. "I have a headache," she lies. Dr. Harris examines her. "You seem stressed, Emily. Maybe you should rest more." While he writes a prescription, Emily notices a door behind his desk. It is slightly open. She sees a glimpse of photographs on the wall. When Dr. Harris leaves the room to get medicine, Emily slips through the door. Inside is a small room with walls covered in photos. There are pictures of young women, including her sister Anna. There are also newspaper clippings about their deaths. Emily's blood runs cold. Dr. Harris is the killer. Suddenly she hears footsteps. She hides behind a cabinet. Dr. Harris enters the room and looks around. He seems suspicious, but then leaves. Emily waits a few minutes and sneaks out of the clinic. She runs to her cottage and locks the door. She needs to call the police, but the village has no police station. The nearest town is miles away, and she has no car. That night, Emily hears a knock on her door. She peeks through the window and sees Dr. Harris. "Emily, are you okay? I was worried about you." Emily does not answer. She knows he is dangerous. Dr. Harris tries to open the door, but it is locked. "Emily, open the door. I need to talk to you." Emily is terrified. She looks for a way to escape. There is a back door, but it leads to the forest. Suddenly, the front door bursts open. Dr. Harris is broken in. He sees Emily and smiles wickedly. "You know too much, Emily. I cannot let you live." Emily runs to the back door and into the forest. Dr. Harris chases her. She trips and falls. He catches up and grabs her. Just then the ghosts appear. There are several of them, all of the young women he killed. They surrounded Dr. Harris and started whispering loudly. He screams in fear and lets go of Emily. Emily gets up and runs as fast as she can. She reaches the village and finds Mrs. Thompson. "Help! Dr. Harris is trying to kill me." Mrs. Thompson calls the other villagers. They grab torches and pitchforks and go to the forest. They find Dr. Harris lying on the ground, unconscious. The ghosts have vanished. The villagers take Dr. Harris to the town jail. The police investigate and find evidence of his crimes. He is arrested and sent to prison. Emily stays in the village. She feels that the ghosts are now at peace. The whispers stop and the forest seems less dark. She visits Anna's grave and says, "Rest now, sister. Justice is done." Vocabulary notes. Cottage. Definition: a small, cozy house often located in the countryside. Example: it is a small cottage in a quiet village. Similar words. Cabin. A small wooden house typically found in a forest or near a lake, e.g., they stayed in a cabin by the river. Bungalow. A low one-story house, often with a wide veranda, e.g., the bungalow had a peaceful garden. Hut. A simple, small shelter, usually made of natural materials, e.g., the fishermen lived in a hut by the sea. Mysterious. Definition: something difficult to understand or explain, often strange or secretive. Example: the village is surrounded by a dark, mysterious forest. Similar words. Enigmatic. Puzzling or hard to interpret, e.g., his enigmatic smile left her wondering. Cryptic. Having a hidden or unclear meaning, e.g., the note was cryptic and confusing. Eerie. Strange in a way that causes unease or fear, e.g., the eerie silence filled the room. Whisper. Definition: to speak very softly, often in a secretive or quiet way. Example: she hears strange whispers. They seem to come from the forest. Similar words. Murmur. To speak in a low, indistinct voice, e.g., the crowd began to murmur in agreement. Mutter. To speak quietly and unclearly, often grumbling, e.g., he muttered something under his breath. Hiss. To make a sharp, sibilant sound, often to show displeasure, e.g., she hissed at him to be quiet. Shiver. Definition: to shake slightly, typically due to cold or fear. Example: she shivers and pulls the blanket over her head. Similar words. Tremble. To shake involuntarily, often from fear or weakness, e.g., her hands trembled as she spoke. Quiver. To shake with a slight rapid motion, e.g., his lips quivered with emotion. Shudder. To shake suddenly and briefly, often from horror or disgust, e.g., he shuddered at the thought. Faint. Definition: something weak, barely noticeable, or lacking strength. Example: suddenly she sees a faint light. Similar words. Dim. Not bright or clear, lacking intensity, e.g., The dim glow barely lit the path. Feeble, lacking strength or vigor, e.g., his feeble voice could hardly be heard. Weak, lacking power or force, e.g., the weak signal faded away. Ghostly, definition, relating to or resembling a ghost, pale, shadowy or supernatural. Example, she follows it and sees a ghostly figure. Similar words, spectral, ghostly or eerie in appearance, e.g., a spectral shape hovered in the mist. Phantom, an apparition of something without physical form, e.g., the phantom vanished into the night. Ethereal, light and delicate, often seeming otherworldly, e.g., her ethereal beauty captivated everyone. Beckon, definition, to gesture with the hand or head to encourage someone to come closer or follow. Example, this time the ghost beckons her to follow. Similar words, gesture, to use a body movement to convey meaning, e.g., he gestured for her to sit down. Signal, to make a sign to communicate, e.g., she signaled him to stop. Wave, to move a hand back and forth as a greeting or signal, e.g., he waved her over to join him. Story written by Grok 3 AI. Image created by Flux, Schnell, Black Forest Labs AI. To read all the stories in full, please go to www.steveuk.blog. Thank you. Hello, this is Steve. If you enjoyed the story, please would you take the time to leave a meaningful comment and click on the like icon. If you want to know when the next story has been uploaded, please click on the notify bell icon to be notified. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and tell your English learning friends so they can benefit too. Thank you.